So one of the things that you'll find I'm going to try and do for the next, actually forever, is be a little bit more practical instead of theoretical. And one of the ways that is practically helpful to me that I want you guys to do too is when you're visiting someplace, when you're traveling, use that as a time to plan ahead and try and find some fellowships, find a house church system, find a street preaching program that's got actually some speaking the truth in love instead of just yelling or handing out water and making the homeless situation even worse. But a group that does both, that does a fair amount of rebuking and a fair amount of helping, and that's a tall order. They're out there, but it's tough. So I went to Ohio, didn't find anything there for business, and then I went to Washington and had been in communication with somebody, and they were really slow to get back. And after 4 or 5 times of pestering them, I finally got a hold of a house church leader and had a pretty good time. It wasn't the best. There was a lot of doctrinal error, and people, living divorced and remarried. It was kind of annoying, but they were very, very sincere and friendly and open to discussing things. So that's huge. In Alaska, I haven't found people that are even willing to even discuss much. They're just wanting to be independent and left alone. Then I got a hold of a conversation at that house church, and she was suggesting a Mennonite group here in town. And I looked it up on the internet and wasn't too impressed with that particular group, but found another one, a Ukrainian, Slavic, Russian group, and they only spoke Russian during their service, so I really didn't want to go. But they offered a really robust translation. They promised that they would translate. And so I went an hour early and really had a great time. Got to visit with all kinds of super friendly people, believe in speaking in tongues, believe in modest apparel and clothing for women instead of a bunch of yoga pants running around. And there is just tons of young people, tons of old people, a real healthy mix. And we must have prayed 4 or 5 times. It was fantastic. All kinds of different things. All right, church, said the pastor. And there was 4 pastors, 4. And it wasn't even that big of a church. And the guy gets up there and says, hey, we need to fast and pray as a group for peace amongst the families. I'm thinking, this guy's genius. A big group like this, they definitely could get themselves in a lot of fights. And it was neat. He wasn't asking. He was like, okay, this Thursday, we are all going to fast and pray for peace amongst our families. So is that code for let's ignore problems, let's not deal with them? I don't know. I mean, I've just been there once. But I was able to get a hold of the pastor and visit with them and say, here's what I'm after. Here's what I'm, wanting to know from you. Can we stay in touch? Because I'm just in and out of this place. I'm just a stranger and English speaking at that. And they agreed. They're going to stick in touch. So I'll keep you posted with how that goes. But the practical thing that I'm trying to get you guys to realize is that if you are wanting fellowship, you have to be picky and you have to seek for it and you have to be willing to create it yourself if there's nothing out there like it. So Lord bless you guys as you try and follow me as I follow Christ in this area here.